Hello, friends.
Hello, everybody.
Here we are.
We are in a much better place today
Yes.
than we were yesterday
Yes.
back in Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea. We sailed a few days, and now
Through
we're
the
in.
Sea of Papa.
It's true.
Yes.
Sea of Papa. Never heard of it before,
Me either.
but
I'm going to have to make a list of all the bodies of water. That's going to be quite the list. But that's
bodies of water. Yeah,
bodies
yeah.
of water.
That might have to be on the recap reel.
Maybe so, but I'm
Okay.
sure June will appreciate that.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
So,
But in the meantime, we are now in Indonesia, and our first stop in Indonesia was on the Isle of Komodo, which is
there we go.
famous for the dragons.
Yes.
And I will say, no Wi-Fi on Komodo.
Well, we were in a national park.
We were.
So we were in Greater Komodo, but we
Yes.
were actually on the little island of Komodo National Park,
Yes.
where there's approximately
1,500.
dragons living on the island in various places. And we were taken to one of their hunting grounds. And so, you want
Yes.
to take off
But
from there?
as we were sailing into Komodo, we are going by all of these beautiful islands. I had no idea. Who knew Komodo is? I mean, Indonesia is so beautiful.
I mean, all the islands just look like something you would see in a travel ad.
It kind of reminded me of what I expected New Zealand to be like.
Well, yeah, I get it. New Zealand's just a big landmass, but
Sure.
I think there's over 1,000 and some islands that make up Indonesia.
And all different parts of Indonesia. So, so we started in Komodo, and as we sailed in, so we did a beautiful excursion in Komodo, which of course was all about the dragons. All about. So, we signed up for an excursion, and we got a guide. We got a guide from our tour company, and then we got a park ranger from the tour company,
Yes.
and then we had a back guy.
So there were 3 people in our entourage. So we had a guide in the front, a guy in the red shirt in the middle, and we'll talk more about the red shirt. Live long and hopefully prosper.
Oh, there we go. This hand's better. There we
Neither
go.
of mine work.
Red shirt.
We'll get to that nerdy part later. And then a guide at the back. Each of them carried a long stick with a wide branch on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little more about that.
And, they gave us a little safety briefing at the beginning and told us, stick right close to the group, don't wander off on your own. These are dangerous animals.
Yes. So the largest dragon we saw was just over 15 foot. And fortunately, he had just had a kill and his belly was full and he wasn't moving. Sort of like a snake, where you just see them
He
engorged.
just kind of laid there.
He just laid
Every
there and
once in a
looked
while
at
he'd
us.
move his head, or you'd see him breathe a little bit. I never saw his tongue.
I did once. They have really long forked tongues.
I thought he was a statue at first.
Yeah,
I
he was
like,
not moving.
that's not real. Yeah, but he was real.
And he
real.
crawled a little bit, so we got to
Yeah.
see him move around.
He moved.
As lazy as this guy looked, if he wasn't full of food,
Mhm.
they're like crocodiles, alligators. They can hit 20 miles an hour
Oof.
like that.
So the guys had drawn a big line in the sand,
A
saying,
circle.
"Do not cross the line." Yes.
That was the line in the sand.
Yeah.
And some people would just start walking up to this guy and
To get
try
a better
to get in his
picture.
face. And
Yeah.
all the 3 of our guides would go, ah!
Sir,
and they would
sir,
get their sticks.
Madame.
They were getting their sticks
Oh,
ready. in case this guy changed his mind.
People
and
are
said,
stupid.
says,
People
"I could use
are
a-"
stupid.
Well, that's true. And this guy could have said, "You know what? Had a good meal.
God bless.
I could use some dessert." And so the bites of the dragon are highly toxic, loaded
Yes.
with bacteria. And their method of hunting is to attack their prey, which includes water buffalo, deer, and wild boar.
Yeah.
And all they have to do is get a bite on them, and they do a twisty bite and load them with saliva, and they just sit there and wait, because even if the guy goes off a few hundred yards before he croaks, the dragon can smell him and know exactly where he is, track him down and eat.
No tourists were bit on our tour
Not on our tour, but there was a rumor one was yesterday,
the day
the
before.
day before.
But he wasn't a tourist.
He was not. And he
Yes.
wasn't on our island.
Yes, it was on a different
He
island.
was doing something stupid on his own.
Exactly.
Um,
So, but while we were there, a little baby guy came through.
Baby Q.
Yes. Baby Q. Yes, because they're all kind of identified with paint on them.
Yes.
Yes. So he came around. Now, we did hear the babies have to be careful.
They do. Because the dragons are cannibals. So, by instinct, when the eggs hatch, the little baby dragons,
Little
thing
baby dragons.
little baby dragons, the first thing they do is run to the nearest tree and climb up.
Hmm.
Because
To
the
get away
bigger-
from their mother.
To get away from their mother, otherwise they're snacks.
Snacks. I love that.
Well, she's been feeding them or she's been taking care of the nest.
The nest, but
The
not
nest.
necessarily the babies. Yes.
Yes.
She'll
that-
eat her babies.
They
Give
made
her a
that
chance.
abundantly clear.
Yes.
They protect the eggs, but once they crack open, they're free game.
Free game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scooby snacks.
You hear that, Sean Carlson?
Don't cross your mother.
Yeah.
You said a whole name.
I said his whole name. Damn it.
It's okay. Nobody knows who he is.
There's
He's anonymous.
10 million people with that name on,
Okay.
on the planet.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So we're not going to delete that. But I think in that day we saw between 6 to 8 different lizards in various sizes.
Yes.
So we saw young ones that were 3 years old,
Hmm.
because
Which were pretty small. Yes.
the little ones won't come down out of the trees
like
till
maybe 3 or 4 feet long.
the little baby cube.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he had these little spindly legs, and he just sort of creeped along. You like that acting? Yeah. Go on.
Not too similar. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And then he was on his way to the stream and saw the big dragon. So the big dragons will eat the little dragons, even lizards. And another point of history: these giant lizards are related to the last surviving dinosaurs when they all died out.
That's right.
These lizards survived however many 60 million years ago.
Whatever. Yes.
But they're colorful. You will
They
see
have-
photos soon.
Yeah.
Just really cool.
So I will tell you, we're in a group.
Me or them?
I'll tell everybody.
Okay.
We're in a group, and there's several groups around, and they're yelling, "Group 2, Group 3, let's go, let's go." So I'm just kind of watching around me, and I see this guy wandering off, and this guy goes, Sir, what are you doing?" He says, "I see a dragon." And he's like, "Sir, no."
This guy was stomping through the woods. I actually have a photo of the dragon, and you can see how close we are from the
I
photo.
know.
And he's sneaking through the woods thinking he's going to get a little photo.
What an idiot. Yeah, so we're all facing forward, and I could see what's going on behind us, and I'm like, "Alabama Terry, turn around." Because there's a dragon right behind
This guy's going to get bit.
Oy, oy, oy. It was a thrilling adventure.
It was.
It was hot as Hades.
Oh, God.
And
The only drawback, if you go there, you have to learn how to run the gauntlet of all the hawkers selling stuff. So
That's true. Yes.
we went through the first line of the gauntlet, and they have it kind of fenced off, but there was a place where the two benches weren't blocked off, and there was a guy trying to sell us crap, and I just went up to him and I said, move,
Go,
move,
go.
move, move.
I
And we
bought one
scooched through
postcard,
there.
and that was not enough. I should have bought 5 postcards
Oh.
from this guy. But anyway, so so that was our dragon adventure. Well worth doing. I think
But-
if you go to Indonesia, you have to go to Komodo. You have to see the dragons.
Be
Fantastic.
prepared to be sweaty, but
Yeah.
if you, book the right tour, you get a treat after.
That's right. We got to go to the Pink Beach, and it was pink. It was the most beautiful beach I've ever seen. Not big.
No, but
It was small.
it's as
But
small
there-
as the one you saw.
It was much smaller than Bondi Beach,
It was smaller than Bondi, but
Much
bigger than you
smaller.
first estimated Bondi.
I suppose.
But
It was a good.
and
It was a beautiful beach, and there were probably only 60 of us there.
so there had to be
Yeah.
tons of red coral in the area.
Yeah, because you could see little flecks of red in the sand, which made the sand look pink.
Yes.
So then we got in the water.
Or it's because the fish were eating people
I'm sure that's.
and they're
what it
washing up in the.
was. I'm sure that's.
All
what-
right.
Yeah, it was
Not a good
blood.
topic.
It was blood.
It
100%.
had that
Yeah.
consistency look.
So, but the water was so salinic.
I could float without a life preserver or a noodle.
It was
and that was
incredible.
amazing.
It was incredible. I was out there without anything, without flippers or anything. I maintain the fish at this beach were as good or better than the Great Barrier Reef. The fish were
That's quite the
bigger.
claim.
The fish were bigger.
Well, you get the magnifying effect with the water.
I got some good video from a friend of mine.
Yes.
Yes, Florida Marcia. Thank you. And we saw a lot of fish there.
Key West, Martha.
Key West Marcia,
That's
which
for-
is even
that's-
better.
That's
Yes.
for Mark and Karen. We might be able to introduce you remotely.
Yes, yes.
They were cool people.
Very cool.
Um,
Yeah, we have friends from all kinds of great places now. But this snorkeling adventure was just fantastic. We were there an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah.
And we
Only
had
because a big storm was coming and they wanted to get us out of the, back to the big boat.
And they fed us. We
Yes.
had a typical Indonesian meal: rice, vegetables, chicken,
Crispy fried chicken.
crispy fried chicken. A little on the spicy side, some of it. So keep that in
Big on
mind.
the hot scale for me.
Yeah. But a lovely, lovely tour. So we went back and we had a
Yeah.
nice evening then.
So, what did we do the next day?
The next day we sailed to Lombok, Indonesia.
Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, apparently Indonesia, for you trivia buffs, is the fourth most densely populated area
On the
behind
planet.
China, India, U.S. Then you get to Indonesia with 270 million people on all these little teeny islands.
All right.
And what was the
That's-
first nation to retire or resign from the UN?
Indonesia.
Indonesia.
We did
So
learn that in
two
trivia. Yes.
spoiler trivia questions for you guys.
About Indonesia.
Okay, let's get back to Lombok.
So when we got to Lombok, we had actually,
You.
had arranged a private tour in Lombok, and he was to take us to a waterfall and a few things along the way. So we met him at the dock, and it was the first time I saw my name on a sign. I was very excited by
Andy
that.
Carlson
It's like,
Hensey.
that's me.
Yep.
So we
Who was with us?
Alabama Linda was with us.
Yep.
She played a big part in this day.
Yes.
So,
No spoiler alert.
no spoiler. So we get it, pile in the car, and he says, "My name is Abdi, and if you want to
RD.
Artie,
Almost like RD2D.
Adi." I thought it was Adi. But,
Well, it does, yeah.
so he said, "You want to stop?" Just say, "Adi, stop." So.
So these people don't have last names, family names.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
They have their first name is their position in the pecking order, the birth order.
The birth order. Yes.
And then they're the son of somebody, but there is no familiar name. So that was kind of weird. I couldn't figure this
Yeah.
out.
It's a culture.
It's a
cultural
different
thing.
culture. Yeah.
Yes. So we're driving along, and I will tell you, it takes a long time to get to anywhere in Indonesia because it's very populous country.
And all the
Lots-
roads are teeny.
Yes, and there are scooters
There are over a million
Everywhere.
scooters on the island.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
So,
Million
and they're
per
zipping
island.
around you either side, and some of them have 5 people, 4 people on them. and,
4. You have a photo with 4.
I have a photo of 4.
So traffic was crazy, and I realized why both Alabama Linda and Maryland Amy let me sit in the front. I was scared. E, bump, 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 S, bump, 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 LESS. And I mean, there were times, so the roads are 2 lane, but somehow they pull off nearly 5.5 lanes. And the traffic flows like a bunch of fish. In the 2 days or so we saw, didn't see a single accident.
No.
I don't know how,
No. Yeah.
but there were times I'm staring down the center line, and that line's going right between my legs. We're that far over the center line.
It's
Oy,
Excuse me. It's right-hand drive though, and he was on the passenger side.
yes.
So.
So that means
you know,
the
there's
driver,
that.
the driver is way across the center line. If I'm in the passenger seat, but no accidents. Driving,
We never saw an accident. I will say I saw.
there were no accidents driving. That was a setup for me.
Ha ha ha. Okay, wait for it. But, I would say there were some scooters that were more aggressive than others, and I hypothesize, big word, that these are the people who had been in accidents before, and the aggressive ones had not been in an accident before.
So we don't have enough data to confirm it's a theory, but
That
it
is
is a
my thought.
hypothesis.
It's my thought. Yes.
But what I
Yeah.
can't figure out, there is not a single speed limit sign anywhere on the roads.
No. Yeah.
And I'm
I
watching
don't
these
think it was a
people,
limit.
and I don't understand why they're driving so slow. I mean, we were driving the majority of the time 25 to 30 miles an hour. If we really got a clear section of road, this guy would downshift, gas it, upshift, and we might hit 50 for about,
It was based on road conditions.
it was.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
people just drove instead of weaving, it would go so much faster.
It was a life experience.
Well,
Absolutely.
it is, and I think it has to do with the religion,
Yeah.
in that you don't want to do anything bad, and you get rewarded for beeping, and they don't beep loud. It's just like a meet me
Hello.
to say,
I'm here.
"Oh, here you go."
You go.
And the people beep back saying, "Thank
beep.
you."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, Lombok is
predominantly
Muslim, and we're here during Ramadan.
So-
So it was kind of quiet during the day. So there was that.
and we chose to be respectful and not
Yes.
eat.
We were not going to
breakfast
eat until
after the sunset. Yes.
which was 6:30. Yes. So our first time we said, Adi, pull over, stop. We saw some rice paddies, and we saw some ladies actually planting rice.
Yes.
And they were so beautiful. And there was a mosque in the background. It was so beautiful.
So as we were driving, we heard all 5 calls to prayer. But it was weird because once you got to the village, you could hear the Muslim, not Muslim, I think the guys called him Muslin, with a couple Z's in it,
I,
doing the prayer call.
mhm.
And people were just walking around doing their day. I saw no one dropping down.
I'm sure there are the observers
I'm sure there are.
that we're taking care
But-
of. So,
It was good. We were trying. And tomorrow we will do the same thing.
Absolutely.
Day after, well, whenever.
sure. So after we, Adi said, we have lots more to see. You can't just stand here taking pictures of ladies planting
All
rice
right.
forever. I think he was a little discouraged with us.
Well, I'm sure.
But it was beautiful.
But he made a point, and he goes, only women can do this job. And they're out there in the heat of the day, sweating probably, standing up to their ankles and
Oh.
probably their knees and
Oh,
walking.
yeah.
But they have smaller
Bent
hands.
over.
Yes, they have smaller hands, so they can plant the new seedlings of rice closer together than men can with bigger hands.
I don't think any of us has ever worked that hard in our lives.
And I think that's just an excuse made up by men.
So after we got back in the car, he took us to a village
Yes.
where he showed us ladies who, a
Hand
village
weaving.
that weaved, yes, and showed
Intricate
us
patterns.
beautiful. But he showed us the looms and how much work it is to weave these things, and then he helped us. He dressed us up in in the traditional costumes in the traditional dress.
I had a knife.
He had
Big
a knife.
dagger.
Now that's a
Dagger.
knife.
That's a knife. And
But
so
he
that
walked
was
us
fun.
through the whole village. We could tell that these people are they're living on a lot less than you'd need in America.
Oh God! But
a
it
lot of
wasn't.
children.
It wasn't as third world as Papua New Guinea.
Not quite,
It-
but not
Well,
a
the-
lot better.
You didn't see starving people.
No, they weren't starving. We didn't see starving people in Papua
Oh,
New
I
Guinea,
did. I
did
saw
you?
skinnies,
Oh,
definitely.
Golly.
Um,
But so when we were in the shop, the Adi had passed us on to Abi, who was a different guy, who showed us around and he helped us with the things and
make sure we got good
Yes.
deals.
so
Good deals.
Yeah, good deal. So I got this beautiful. I'm going to
Sure,
use
the
it as a
shiny
tablecloth.
Yes.
And then another. Ooh, you know what? I could lay that one on top of this one.
Oh, you could.
That'll be
Oh, like a
beautiful.
double layer,
Yeah. Very excited about it. So it's all hand loomed. Just beautiful. Just
Yes.
very excited.
Yes.
And and they took our credit card, which
Yeah.
it's
That
a
tell-
tiny village in
Okay.
in Indonesia.
So yes. So that's why I'm saying it's not quite Papua New Guinea.
That's true.
Yeah. They were pretty modern and they were good hucksters.
Yeah.
Huskers.
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 Wow. Yeah, they wanted us to buy a lot, which is fine. We
We were good. We have a lot of new tablecloths to spill wine on.
and you got a sarong,
I
which
did.
looks very cool.
Yes,
That looks very good with your peach shirt. So
it will.
yeah. So we left the village, and Adi was a little concerned that we were past our time, and we needed to get to the waterfall if we wanted to see it because the forest is dark, and time is ticking, and how long are the rangers there? But we did make it. We made it there.
He was overly nervous.
He was. So we get there, and so we're traveling with Alabama Linda. And
No, she was with us.
that's what I said. We were traveling with her.
Oh, I thought you said
Yes.
without.
Yeah, no, we were traveling with her. So the first thing we do is we get there, and we ladies have to use the ladies' room.
This is where it sort of went from 2.5 world down to 2.7, 2.8.
It was a rough bathroom. And I added to my little list by the door things to take on an excursion. On the bottom is J-Tube, which is your stand-up heat kit. So
For ladies only.
right, I did not have it that day. I have it every day since.
You could have had a V8
I
here.
could have. Made it through the bathroom. No toilet paper in the bathroom. Imagine that. Yeah, and a big
Bucket.
bucket. I mean, it was 10 gallons. And a big ladle on there that I guess you ladle out the water and throw it into the toilet to make it flush.
So you have to do it really high to get
Oh.
the vacuum to break.
I didn't get the lesson, so.
Well, I did. I just figured that out.
Well, yeah, okay. All right. I'll try that next time I'm in one of those bathrooms.
You're not going back to Lombok, so you're
We're
good.
not. So we go to the restroom, and Audie hands us over to
Park
our
guide.
park ranger, whose name I didn't catch.
I
don't
did,
recall.
but I don't recall.
He was
We'll
gorgeous.
call him Bob.
He was beautiful. Lovely young man.
Oh,
So we're walking along this pathway. There's a lot of moss on the ground. It had rained recently. Pretty slippery.
Slime.
It was pretty slippery. Jeff and I had nice shoes on with our ankle socks. Thank you, Ed. Yes, but we were prepared for hiking. That's why we were wearing ankle socks. And along the way, we saw
two gray monkeys.
2 monkeys in the wild, which was incredibly exciting.
And these are not the aggressive monkeys you
No.
may have read about.
He just kind of
These
looked
guys
at
are-
us
and
and
went
ate.
along.
He was eating the leaves.
Yeah,
He
he was
fine.
happy.
He was fine.
Yeah.
So we go a little bit further. We can hear the waterfall. We can kind of see parts of it in the distance. And Jeff is scurrying along ahead.
Well, let's be more precise. I was a little bit ahead of them going down the steps, and the steps are 18-inch risers.
But they're irregular.
They're
too.
irregular.
Yes.
So the guide helped me down, and I surely expected you all to wait for him. But what happened next?
I'm coming down behind, and I just glance over my shoulder, and I see Linda sitting down,
Splatted on the stairs.
and she's got this look on her face like, "Oh my God!"
Was that a good enough expression?
It was, yeah. She was, she was in pain, and she was hurting.
Ugh.
So I go back, and I can see this knot just erupting on the
Growing.
side of her leg, on the side of
At
her
her
ankle. Yeah. Poor Linda. So she twisted her ankle pretty good. So how to get back up those stairs and back up the path and past the monkey and to the beginning. So ahead of us were these Italian tourists. Now, 4 Italian tourists. 4. 2 men, 2 young ladies.
Don't say any more about the ladies.
The young men spoke a smidge bit of English.
Yes.
And they said, "Oh, no, we can help you. So at first the park rangers were trying to help Linda to go back up the stairs by hopping. Wasn't working because they just weren't very tall. So they weren't able to help her hop because some of the hops were, a foot or better, 18 inches.
I
It
gotta
was a long
say,
way.
for
At
me,
least-
it was great being back in Asia because I'm taller than most of the average women. So I was like
And a lot of the
feeling
men.
pretty good.
And a lot of
And
the
a lot
men.
of the men.
Yes. So the Italians come up. One has a tattoo on his leg that says demon. I was like, oh dear God. So, but they help her to hop, and then they get to the flat parts, and they're like, we'll just carry you. So they put her up on their shoulders, and they're carrying her until they got to the new steps. Meanwhile, our guide had run all the way back up to the top, and Jeff had run up to the top too. And they come running
Well,
back.
I would say I don't have much of a run anymore. I was hustling as quick as I could.
Sure. You
'Cause
were
I want-
doing, yes,
I wanted to get our guide to get permission to
Artie.
bring his car,
yes,
Artie, yes, to
Yeah.
the trailhead. So I was successful in that.
yes.
That was my contribution.
So, so all the Indonesian young men were coming, and they had a stretcher, and there was probably 8 of them. Yes. So they get Linda on the stretcher, and they carry her the rest of the way up, and we get her, we get her in the back of the car, and we take pictures, and we thank everyone profusely, and we told Adi, just take us back to the boat.
And I want to say, I did reward
Yes,
the
of course you
carriers,
did. Of course
but
you did.
Amy tried to give something to the Italians.
I said, please, just let me buy you dinner for tonight. This is
And they said no.
No,
So
no.
I went back and said,
Demon
okay.
Lake guy. He was like, I would not hear of it. So
I
it was
said,
very nice.
how about some beers? They go, maybe.
So you were able to give him something?
I actually hand them, and they go, no, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
I said, how about if I just buy? I thought they might have thought I was going to buy them beers right there,
Oh,
not for later. And
Yeah.
since they'd already turned
but we
it
had to
in,
go.
We
Yeah.
had to.
So it was 2 hours back to the boat from
Yes.
there because guess what? Can't get anywhere fast in Indonesia, ever.
And I got to tell you, I was trying to discourage noise from the back because Artie was concentrating on driving
He was
as
trying
best
to.
to bat out of
Yeah.
Hades. No, not even that. Purgatory. You're just barely creeping along. And I actually saw him hit 60 kilometers once, which for you guys that don't kilometers, it's
40
about
miles
50.
an hour.
50.
Oh,
60 is 48 plus a little extra. 50 miles an hour.
60 times 0.6 is 36 miles an hour.
Plus the extra.
He
He was going 60 times,
0.6.
no, 80. 6 times 80.
Okay, that's
was-
50 miles.
Yeah, that was 50.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
thank you. I can't even do my
I
own
can
math.
do the math.
Much less I can help you guys figure it out.
But of course, we're hitting sundown, and the world is coming alive because Ramadan. They break the fast
Yes.
at sundown.
Sunset.
So we're seeing all these sunset. Yes. So we're seeing all these stalls open with fried chicken and
So
kinds
all
of
the
yummy
scooters
things.
had their headlights on. Not a single vehicle was using headlights at dusk.
I know. Yeah.
It was crazy.
But Adi got us all the way back to the boat, and then we got Linda aboard the boat.
Well,
Now,
he did better than that.
He did.
He talked to the people and explained what happened,
Yes.
and we were able to drive right up to the immigration port,
Right.
and then the immigration people took over, drove her around to the
To the boat itself.
boat itself. yeah.
Yes.
The gangway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then
Then the boat couldn't figure their way out of
Wow.
a wet paper bag.
they took X-rays. She just has a bad sprain. 2 days later, she's out
hobbling.
touring again. So
She's hobbling.
She's fine. She's in good shape. So, yeah. Spoiler alert: Linda's fine.
Okay.
She's going to be on tours with us in
It's Alabama
It-
Linda, not to confuse with any other Linda.
Alabama. Linda.
Yes.
Yes. So it was a day. It was a day in Lombok. Yes.
Okay.
Where's that from?
I'm closing out.
That's Nukuhiva.
Well, it doesn't really matter. It's south, so I'm
South
going
is-
native. I got my little medallion on,
Yeah.
from French Polynesia, my little black pearl bracelet,
Yeah.
a shirt, local shirt,
Fine.
handmade.
That you'll hear more about.
You'll hear
later.
about later.
Yes, yes. So those are our 2 days in the first part of Indonesia.
Indonesia, yeah.
So that was Komodo and Lombok. So our postcard today is going to 2 of our youngest listeners.
step grandchildren or something.
Great niece
Great-
and nephew.
Something.
So
First names
Macy,
only.
Macy and
Taylor.
Taylor in North Carolina. Shout out to you guys. You have postcards coming. They're great Dragon ones, so
Oh, yes.
you're
they
going to
are.
love them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know when you get them. And see if you can find Indonesia on the map and Komodo Island.
Yes,
I'd
that would
like
be
that.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, folks, we're going
Yeah.
to wrap up. I'm looking forward to a day off of relaxation.
Yes.
Amy works me so hard. She forgets I've been retired longer than she is.
Yes, so we'll see you very soon. We have 2 more days to tell you about in Indonesia, which we love very much.
Oy. I got to tell you, all right, I'm digressing. For those that knew, I used to be an architect. Always enjoyed Architectural Digest. And as we were going around today, and I'm sweating buckets, I remembered a photo shoot of David Bowie and Edmund's house in Bali on a cliffside overlooking the ocean. And it was
I have
just,
to find that.
oh, well, we probably
Yeah.
got rid of it, but it was a stunning building, a stunning location.
So that's what's next.
And
We'll
David
be in
Bowie was-
Bali
yes.
next,
No,
which is which is behind us. We're leaving Bali, so we will tell you about that on the next episode. Postcards with Amy and Joe. So, yes.
We're out of here.
Adios, everyone. See you next time.